Are you ready to discover Protastructure Suite? This comprehensive structural engineering software comes with 4 specialized modules, each crafted to efficiently optimize your engineering tasks. We are excited to introduce to you Protastructure. This innovative solution is designed to offer fast and accurate analysis and design for your building structures. Imagine transforming the way you work with ProtaDetail, our groundbreaking tool for automated connection design and steel detailing. That's not all. ProtaDetail is a revolutionary structural drawing and detailing software, uniquely designed to automate the creation and organization of your structural concrete detail drawings. And all of this is achieved with just one click. And let's talk about collaboration. Our ProtaBIM feature is a game changer in coordinating and sharing project models. It's designed to enhance teamwork and ensure that everyone is on the same page. Minimizing project delivery time and increasing efficiency is central to our mission. As a licensed user, you gain numerous benefits, including dedicated support from our Prota Knowledge Center. Our structural engineers are ready to assist you 24/7, ensuring you make the best use of the program.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today is the demo day for Ethiopia, where we will be demonstrating the power of Protastructure 2025. Nziza Global is software technology training and certification center. We do training and licensing for companies like Autodesk, Prota Software, Midas, and Bentley Systems. As you can see on my screen, here is the table of content of what we are going to be showcasing in this demonstration of today. Prota Software as a company has more than 40 years of experience. The software can support 10 different languages, 25 different design codes, and it is available in 90 countries. It has more than 24 partners worldwide. Protastructure is a very powerful tool, and it is ranked to be all-in-one structural engineering solution. When you talk about modeling and analysis, Protastructure has a capability to perform tasks that are normally performed by software like StudyPro, like SAP 2000, like Midas, like Robot, like Etabs. All those software, what they can do in the context of modeling and analysis, Protastructure alone has the power to perform all those tasks. Protastructure also combines capability of the element design. Protastructure also has the power to combine component design capabilities that are available in the software like Ethiopian from Trimble, Scale, Procon, and so on. Protastructure also has detailing and drafting capability through its ProtaDetail module, which these tasks normally performed by softwares like AutoCAD, BricsCAD, and so much more. Protastructure has a ProtaDetail module, which is dedicated to detailing and drafting. So you don't need any additional software. Protastructure also has fabrication capability, which combines the capabilities of technical structures, advanced steel from Autodesk, BOCAD, and many others. Protastructure also has capability of BIM integration, where it has power to collaborate with Revit, the architecture or structure, technical structures, ArchiCAD, AutoCAD, Etabs, SAP 2000, and other software products available in the market, whether on architectural side or structural side. Those are, when it comes to modeling and analysis, it is done by Protastructure. Protastructure also can do design, full-scale design. There is a ProtaDetail that deals with detailing, drafting, and component design. Protastructure also has ProtaDetail, which is dedicated to performing all or producing all construction shop details specifically for steel structures. It also has a ProtaBIM, which is specifically for BIM collaboration between teams, owners, architects, monitoring and evaluation specialists, and so on. As you can see, these all four, Protastructure, ProtaDetails, ProtaBIM, ProtaSteel, all four are into what we call Protastructure Suite. And that Protastructure Suite is one software installed on your computer, and you are ready to perform all these tasks you see on the screen. Where normally you are requested to combine more than 4 other software to be able to do this job. This is what I was explaining above, and I'll go to the next slide. Next slide shows what the biggest companies, biggest businesses that rely on Protastructure to perform their engineering tasks. We can say ICOM. If I'm not mistaken, ICOM is the biggest contractor in the world. And there is the Arab, the British mega project management company in engineering and construction. There is WSP, there is Jacobs, there is others. These are all these biggest businesses that are in engineering and construction that use Protastructure to perform their structural and earthworks engineering tasks. Protastructure, coming to the project, it has delivered the biggest terminal building for airports in the world, the biggest in the world, which is Istanbul Airport, of 1,500,000 meters square. Protastructure has used it to deliver the peak in Cambodia. It has used in different skyscrapers. You can see in Malaysia, you can see in London, United Kingdom. You can see in airports. It has used in Cairo Airport in Egypt, this airport in Kosovo, Petersburg Airport in Russia, Ankara train station in Turkey, and so much more. Today, we are bringing a Protastructure demo for Ethiopian market as Nziza Global. Nziza Global is the official training and licensing partner for Prota software. We are directly connected to Turkey headquarters. These are our contact details. When you need the training, when you need the certification, when you need the licenses, these are our contact details. And this website has a lot of information that will show you our portfolio, our profile, where we have been delivering this kind of software training and certification across African countries. Today, we are going to show you Protastructure in action. So no more talks. It's gonna be practical. It is going to be delivered by our engineer. Gorki Charite is a registered civil engineer, is a structural BIM expert and certified instructor since 2022 for Protastructure and Revit structure, certified by both Prota software and Autodesk at the same time. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the stage to Engineer Gorki Charite. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alexander. So let's start. When you're opening the software, this is the interface. As all other softwares, you can open an existing project or a new project. The best thing on Protastructure site, we have some resources here where you can get some tutorials and design guide related to Protastructure. Okay, so let's start with creating a new project. Give it a name, and then on the list here you have some different design codes. Okay, I'm going to use one of them. Let's pick the British standard. Then I will open a new project, an empty project, so that we can start. Okay, so this is a new project. In Protastructure, you have different tabs here, and each tab contains different tools. Okay, so when we are modeling, of course, you have to start with the grids. In Protastructure, you can model a straight grid like so. You have a capability to model a segmented grid like this one. You have also a capability to model a curved grid. Okay, so you can model any of the grids that you wish. We have also, I will delete this. We have also another way of generating grids automatically. Okay, let's use like 5 here. If I click OK, now I will have a system of grids without creating grid one by one, which will be a very fast way of doing things. Okay, thanks to Protastructure. After modeling grids, you have also, if you select a grid, you have a different element that can help you to modify a grid. You can offset a grid. Okay, you can offset a grid. You can move a grid. You can see all these. You can stretch. It means you have a flexibility to model a grid as you wish. Okay, for instance, you can offset like this grid. Okay, if I open the property, you have different methods that you can use to modify the grid. You can, for instance, hide the bubbles. You can decide to hide the axis. Okay, so you see the difference. This axis is somehow hidden. You can stretch. Okay, for instance, like this. So you see that you have different flexibility on modifying grids. Okay, let me offset another grid here. Okay, so you can offset grids as you wish. Okay, then let's move to the column. You can place columns on Protastructure. You have a property where you can define the sections of the grid of the column. Okay. Okay. If you are done, you can just drag and drop. Then column will be placed. As simple as that. Okay. Drag and drop. Column will be placed. Everywhere you want, you can place columns just in a few seconds, like so. Okay, so you can use this section manager, because by default I was creating a square column, but you have a flexibility to model all other different types of column. You can model like a circular column, for instance. If I place, you see now I have a circular column. You can model even other type of geometry of columns. Protastructure gives you the flexibility to model different type, like this one. This is a cross shape. You can draw an L shape of column and so on. You can also draw, for instance, any shape, irregular shape. For instance, if I have something like, let's say like this, you see it is a irregular shape, but you want to create this as a column, it is also feasible in Protastructure. If you select this and you can convert it into column, if I place, now I have a column which have an irregular shape. So when it comes to columns, you can place any kind of column as you wish in Protastructure, okay? So let's go to the wall, shear wall. If you have to place a shear wall, then you can use this command here. You can place a shear wall as you wish, okay? For instance, like so. This is a wall. Between two intersections, you can place a wall as you wish, like this, okay? Let's try to do the same here. If I click and try to offset this, I want to create another one here. Okay, so instead of taking the wall from here, you can take a property of one of these walls, okay? And again, you can model walls as simple as that, okay? So, so that's it. You can also, if you have already modeled a column, for instance, like this one, you can again open the property and do a modification. Okay, maybe change the section, if you click on update, you see now the column which were a square have been changed. Okay, you have also a flexible capability of matching properties. For instance, if I go right click and go to match properties, I can select which property I want to match, click OK. Then I will select some of the columns like so. If you click on enter, directly they will take the properties from the selected one. Okay, so you see how Protastructure gives a flexibility when it comes to modeling either columns and walls. So there is someone who is trying to write on the screen. Can you try to delete? Okay, thank you. So let's go on. Let's go to see how we can model like, let's say, BIM, okay? It's a matter of taking BIM, okay? Then change the sections of the BIM as you wish, okay? So someone who is writing on the screen, can you please delete? Okay, so please don't write on the screen because it is somehow disturbing, okay? Thank you. So it's a matter of filling the size and of the beam, and you can drag across and beams will be created as simple as that, okay? You can create one by one, span by span if you wish to, but there is this fastest way of modeling, okay? When it comes to beam. You can see what you have modeled so far. You can also view what you are modeling in a 3D view. For instance, if I try to open the 3D view, you can see what we have modeled so far in a 3D view. You can see those columns which were cross. You can see what we have modeled. You can again go to the 3D view if you, the plan view, if you wish to, okay? So let's continue modeling. Let's see a little bit on the slab. When it comes to slab, Protastructure have the ability to model different kinds of slab. It may be a solid slab, reinforced concrete slab. It may be a ribbed slab. It may be a woof slab. It may even be a composite slab. So Protastructure have the ability to model all those kinds of slabs. Okay. So for this case, let's go with the solid slab. If I click on a solid slab, I will get this notification to create, first of all, the load combination that I will be using, okay? There is an easiest way of creating load combination. If I click on this button, you can see I can set either the vertical load combination and the horizontal load combinations, okay? So you have to set what you will be using, okay? To define this, we have stage cases, we have thermal cases. In horizontal, we have seismic, we have wind load, soil pressure, and so on. So it's up to you to define depending on what you want to use, okay? I will select one of them. Then after selecting, the slab property will open, okay? Then you can also, again, put the parameters that you wish, okay? The type that you want to use of the slab, the height, and so on. And with a single click this one, then all the slab will be modeled. Okay, you can see in a 3D view what we have modeled, slabs as well. You can also model slab one by one if you wish. Okay, but I'm showing you the quickest way of modeling. You can see, you can decide to toggle where you can see the 3D view and the plan view at the same time. Okay, as this, if that's what you wish. You can reset again to have one view, depending on what you want to achieve. When it comes to the shear walls, okay, you can also add openings in the shear walls. For instance, let's suppose that this shear wall is for rift, must contain a door. If you select it, you have wall openings. Then you can add openings and define the measurement using these values here. Define the position of the openings as well as the size of the openings. And if I click on OK, you can see now how I have modeled an openings in a shear wall. Okay. So sometimes if you are working with a project, you see this slab is in my site, I cannot see the shear wall. I can use these layers here and decide to turn off maybe slab. They are not deleted, they are temporarily hidden. Okay. So because I want to work with this shear wall, so I have temporarily hidden the slab. Okay. They are not deleted. Then I will add another openings here, like so. Great. If I click OK, now you see you have openings. If you go to the plan view, here on the walls, you can see that I have 4 different walls. Okay, you have an option to select all of them and merge them to become one continuous wall. You can do the same as here. Merge vertical members. Now, if I select one of them, you see it is combined. Okay, so I will show the slab again. That's what we have modeled so far. You can decide to model slant beams. I mean slant columns, for instance. If I, for example, if I offset something like here, okay. If I model columns here, for the demonstration, I will do it I will type my view so that you can see what I'm doing. See, we have those new columns here. I'm going to slant them. It's a matter of selecting, opening the property. Using these tools, I can slant my columns. You can see how the bottom slide have been slanted. Okay. Repeat it on this side as well. Click on update. And then you see that you have also the capability to draw such kind of column. So you can see how Protastructure is flexible when it comes to modeling. Let me put also beams here. Okay, you can see that whatever I'm doing on the left side on the plan view, it is also being applicable on the right side. Okay, so Protastructure gives you all these options. Okay. So let's go and try to create another story, the upper story. So under stories, I can insert another story to make it 2. Click OK. Now on plan view, it is still empty because there are no member yet. In plan view or in 3D view, or it is the same. So instead of starting modeling from scratch, what you can do, you have an option that can let you copy elements from one story to another story. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create, to copy all the elements that we have modeled so far and paste them on the new story that we have created. So to achieve that, I will use the generate stories command. Okay, you have to select where you want to copy elements from, where you want to paste them, and here you have option to select which element you want to copy and paste. Okay, so for my case, I will select all, then click OK. Take a look here in a 3D view. Now we have 2 stories which are similar. You can see. And even though you have copied elements from one story to another, you still have a flexibility to to modify them. Okay, for instance, I can come and select some element and delete them. Okay, so if I delete them on the upper story, they will not be deleted on the lower story. So it is, you still have the flexibility to do such modifications. So on this flow, you have seen that you can model a solid slab like so. You can model also the flat slab. So let's try to model flat slab on this. It means they will no longer have beams. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all the beams on the upper story and delete them. Okay, so it is somehow, instead of selecting beam by beam, there is always in Protastructure a fastest way of doing things. So we have a filter command. If I can use a filter, then decide that I want to select only beam. Okay, in this case, if I select everything like this, you can see that only beams are the one which are selected. Okay, then I can delete them. Okay, now I'm sure that the beams have been deleted. Okay, so now I have flat slabs. Okay, so because we have flat slab, we have to increase also the depth of the flat slab. Okay, it is also, instead of doing it panel by panel, there is always a fast way of doing things. Okay, so if I right click, okay, let me do maybe it on a plan view, because you have a flexibility to do it in plan view or in 3D view. If I right click, I have member table. I can go all the way to the slab table. In this case, I'm sure that I have a list of all the slabs in story 2. You can see by default we had 150, but I can select this and maybe put 250. We are working in millimeter. Take a look. If I click on OK, the 150 have been changed to 250. And then if I try to zoom, see all the slab have been updated. Okay, so instead of modifying slab one by one, then you can do such thing here. Talking on slab, you can also model a cantilever slab. If I do like an example, under the types here, you have type 12. Type 12 is a cantilever slab. So if I select cantilever, I can define the length of cantilever, let's say 1.5. Then take 1 point and another one. You have to decide which, the orientation of the cantilever slab, upward direction. Now you see I have a cantilever slab here. So if I do the same here, you see how the software is intelligent enough to connect automatically these two corners here. Let's do all the way our widthing, creating cantilever slabs from here and here. You see that all the corners have been well joined. If I open the 3D view, you see you have a cantilever slab all around the widthing. Okay, so because we are modeling this flat slab, we have to define the drop, okay, for the columns. So I can do it on plan view as again, using the filter command again. This time I will be selecting columns. So select all the columns, okay. Now you see only column have been selected. If I right click, then I will have a drop slab patch panel. So I'm going to add some drop to the column, okay. Just put the values here, patch layout as well. Okay, as you wish, depending on the result that you want to achieve. Okay, so if I click on OK, you see all the columns now have the drop panel. Okay, if I go in a 3D view, that's how it is looking like. Okay, so we have modeled the flat slab as well. So let's try to go to the upper story. I will create another story. That story now there will be 3. Okay. I have created another empty story. So you are already familiar with generating. We are going to generate again members, the second one to the third story. And this time I will be, let me bring the one from the story 1 to story 3. Then I will copy only shear walls and columns, okay? can save and beams. Okay, click OK. Then we have copied the bottom side. I will delete these slant members. I don't need them for now. Okay. So on this part, what I want to model, there are other type of slabs. Okay, that are supported by Protastructure. Revit slab, you can model Revit slab as well. Okay. So that's what we are going to do. Can open the Revit slab here. Under the Revit slab, then you have to define the size of the Revit beams. For instance, here, let's say 375. Okay, so you can make it hollow or block. Okay, depending on what you want to achieve. So if I come and place, now you see I have a Revit slab. Let me do it all the way here. So you go, if I go to the 3D view, now you have modeled a Revit slabs. So let's try to model also the waffle slab because they are also supported. Okay, so under type, it's a matter of changing and go to the grid. Waffle slab as referred as grid in Protastructure. Okay, so then I will again model the slabs. Okay, so if I go to the 3D view, you see I have also modeled the waffle slab. You can also model the composite slab. Let's try it on this side. So I'm going to select all the beams here. These ones, delete, and then let's delete all these beams. Okay. So I'm deleting these beams because these beams were concrete beams, and I want to create a composite slab. So I will be needing to create steel framing. Okay. So under the steel part, under the frame, you can model the primary composite beam. Okay. So it's a matter of coming here. Under the property, you can select. We have different property sections. Okay, depending on what you want to achieve. So you can select one of them. Okay. Click OK. Okay, then you have to model. I'm going to just model the beams all the way here. Those are the primary ones. Okay, like so. You can go and model the secondary ones under the frame also. You see, you have secondary composite beam. However, I will not use this command because if I use this one, I will be needing to model one by one, which is time consuming. Remember, in Protastructure, you have always the easiest way of doing things. So I'm going to use the frame. So it's a matter of coming, select a given property here, the section. Okay. Now under this property, I have to define the quantities. Let me use like 4. And then under generation option, I will delete the first member. Okay. So if I come select the first one, select the second one, the secondary member will be automatically modeled. I can do the same here. Then on the last part here, I don't want to delete the first member here, so I will have to change and use normal one. If I click these two, then they will be placed. Okay. So the remaining part, if I open in the 3D view for you to see what we have modeled, I have modeled the primary beams, the secondary ones. Then we have to model the concrete slab. Okay. We have to put the composite slab here. Okay. You have 2 options. You can use one that you wish. I will use this first one. I will model slab all the way here. Then the property will open. So you have to deal with these properties to change the slab here. Do you want the slab to be above the flange? You can see on the figure here, the slab is above, or you want it to be level to the primary beams. It's up to you. You can always come here under the deck. You can change the sheeting deck, the type of the sheeting that you want to use. Okay. You have also you can change the thickness. You can apply some loads, either the live load, you can apply the dead loads, okay, as you wish. If everything is okay, if you click on okay, now we'll have a composite one, like so, okay. So we have covered all the slab type. So let's go to the upper part and try to create a roofing. So I will also create another stories up, empty story, like so. So I will again generate members. So I will go to generate members from this story all the way up. I will only copy, let's say, column shell. Click OK. Close. Okay. So we have copied all the columns. We want to model some roof. Okay. So let me try to can delete this. Do it on plan view so that it will be much clearer. Again, I will use the match property. Remember the match property that I have used before. I want this column, all these columns to be squares. If I click enter, they will have the same property. Let me delete these columns here. Good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to elevate, because you have also a possibility to elevate a given column. Okay, so I will select all these columns here, rotate and select all these columns. See, they are all selected. If I go to the properties, okay, then you can use this delta Z to add an offset. So I want to add an offset at the top side. Let's say 2000, for instance. If I click OK on the top side, close, you see now these columns have been elongated. Okay, they are not. They don't have the same height as before. So let's try to model the truss, for instance. Here under truss, we have a truss. If I select on truss, it's a matter of selecting the starting point, the ending point. I will have a truss dialog box. You can choose from the different trusses type and the patterns that you wish. You can use these parameters here to change the geometry of this truss. Okay. For instance, you see that the support are on the bottom chord. Okay. You can maybe say you wanted them to be on the top chord, like so. See that it have changed. You can use all these parameters to change your truss. You can apply splices if you wish. You can go to the member type where I want to define the sections of the member. So if everything is okay, if I click on OK, now you can see that how my truss have been modeled. It is somehow a little bit wired. So I will go back to the property. Then you put 1 meter here instead of 2 meter to be much, realistic. Good. So you can copy even truss from one end to another. So if I select, have a copy, you can copy from this node, for instance, all the way to the remaining nodes. See how they have. Can do the same on a good thing here. See, I have modeled the left side. If I want to model the right side, I no longer need to go back to the settings. As long as I take the command, click OK, the software remember the latest option that I had, so I can continue placing. Okay. So place, copy from here all the way here. Okay. So you can see there are some, it's up to you. You can model in the plan view, you can model in the 3D view. All are acceptable. So let me try to put some other still member, like for instance, purlins. Okay, if I select one truss and another one, then I will have a dialog box where I can again use these properties to set these purlins. Do you want to use the stud rods? You can use this to make change, or can click none to remove the sag rods. Click OK, then purlins will be placed. Okay, I can do the same here. Click OK, purlins will be placed. Good. So you can also even add cladding. For instance, if you select cladding, select the purlins, cladding will be automatically created for you. You see now I have claddings. You can even apply the loads on claddings. Okay, if you go under loads, you have also flexibility to add loads. Okay. On the left side, let's also add the cladding here. Then that's good. So for the middle part, let's try to do something very interesting. It's a new features in Protastructure 2025. The space truss. Let's try to use it. For that, I will try to elevate again these 4 columns. Let me try select. Go to properties. Under delta Z, I will increase again by 5, so it will be to 5. Okay. Yes, you see they are a little bit longer. I want my space truss to sit on those columns. So let me do it on plan view. It will be much easier for me. So I'm going to create a space truss. It's a very new features in this software. So select truss, then select where I want to put my space truss, then it will be automatically generated. Okay, so it will be up to me to do some modification depending on the shape I want to achieve. For instance, if I use increasing, let me use like this one. For instance, if I click on generate, you see how it has been generated. It's a matter of changing this top surface, the bottom surface. You can use this icon here to change the sections of your design truss. You can go under loading where you can apply some loading. You have self-weight, live load, and so on. Okay, like so. Under geometry, because I have raised, let me try to put some offset here. Charite, yes, it will be much good. If I click on OK, just wait a bit to load, then to create the space truss. If I go to the 3D view, you see how my space truss have been created. Okay, so you see that what you have modeled just in a few minutes. So you have a lot of tools here that you can use. You have a very flexible way of modeling any kind of shape depending on the building that you have. Okay. So after modeling, let's see about loading. You can do the loading part. You have you can customize some walls, masonry walls that you want to use in your project. You can apply different material. Is it a bricks? Is it a plaster? Is it a tiles that you want to add? Okay. If the material you want is not listed, you can also add using edit material. You can add the material that you want. You can do the same for the slab. If you have additional dead loads that you want to add on the slab, do you want to add a gypsum on the slab? Do you have a cement grout? Is it a tiles and so on? So if you don't have again the element, the material here, you can always come here and create your own depending on the project. So after creating this, the remaining part is to assign the material. Let's suppose this beam here. If I go to the story 1, this beam here is supporting a masonry wall. I can select it, go to edit, then I can add a wall, a masonry wall. I will have to define which wall, okay? I will have to define the height and so on. If I click here, click OK. Now we see the red color here that I have. It is indicating that there is a masonry wall sitting on the beam. If I go to the plan view, you see now the beam have become red because it means it have a masonry wall. The good thing about this, about Prota, because it is a very user-friendly software. So instead of, let's suppose all the beams have the same wall. So instead of assigning beam by beam, you can come just simply click on copy. You can copy these loads, and then you can select all the beams. Use Ctrl V even on your keyboard to paste. And now if I go in the 3D view, you see all the beams have those masonry walls. Okay. If I open again, go back there to that masonry, there is option to add openings. If you want to add, maybe there are some windows, or there are even some windows and door, for instance. Okay. You have a flexibility to add those openings as you wish. Okay. Click OK, update, then OK. Now you see that the masonry wall have also openings. Okay. You can do the same for the slab. If the slab have let's say a masonry wall, you can also go to the edit load. So you see all this kind of loading. You can add a point, you can add a uniform, you can add an area, and so on. Okay, so they are also feasible. So after loading your structure, then the next step would be to do the analysis and design. Okay. Because of the short time that we have for the demo, I will try to open a new project which have been analyzed and designed. It is the same project. Okay, it is the same project, but which have analysis and have been also been designed. Okay, you can see it is similar to the one that we have modeled. Okay, but we have analyzed. Okay, you can see members are green, so it means the green. If you see on the region, they are okay, they are passing. So all members have been analyzed and designed. Even the trusses, you can see all are greens here. It means they are passing, they are okay. So going to the analysis, you have always the analytical model. So suppose I have clicked on analysis part, we have analyzed. You can always come under the analytical model, where you can investigate the loadings, the shear, the forces acting on a structure. Then you go to the design, where you can design columns. For instance, if I open the columns here, all the columns have been designed for now. But for demonstration, if I open one of these, okay, you see it have been designed. We have all the load combination that we have applied. We have the reinforcement here. You can open the diagrams if you wish to view. Okay, you can see all the results. You can create a report, okay, for this column if that's what you wish by clicking on this. You see you have a report. You can save it as a PDF or Microsoft Word. It's up to you. You can even view the drawing, how it will be looking like in the way after detailing. Okay, you see we have all the reinforcement in the columns. We have all the sections all the way up. Okay, that's how all the slab have been designed. We have also the shear wall. Remember we had the shear wall. You see here, if I click on rebar layout, then you see the details of how the reinforcement have been added. Okay, again, you can create a report and so on as you wish. You can also design the beams, the story beams. Okay, if I try to open one of the BIM, for instance, for you to have a view, have been designed here. You can see the detailed drawings as well for the beams. I have a beam, we have the section here, so on. Okay. Remember, you have designed also the foundation, not yet, but we have slab, under slab analysis and design. Those are the analysis and design of the slab. You can also create the report if you wish. Okay. We have designed the ribbed slab. Remember for the ribbed slab we had here. So you have to define the ribbed slab. Okay. Click on design. Wait, there are no members here. Can use this. We have footings. We haven't created footings so far. So let's go to the footing. Okay. Before going to the footing, let's see to the steel part, because we have also trusses, we have whatever. So if you click, for instance, on truss design, remember we are designing, everything is passing because they have been designed, but you can double click to investigate more. You see the truss that we have created, all the informations are here. If you want to redesign, you can use this, you can change the section, you can create a report, and so on, as we have seen. Even for the space truss, the new one that we have created. Okay, so you can design the part here. So the last thing here I want to show you on the design part, you can design the formwork in Protastructure. Okay, Protastructure can perform formwork design. If I select on a column, see I can design the formwork. Under the geometry, you can define the spaces here. Okay, if I click on renew the design, okay, now you can see the design is successful. You can do it for the columns, you can do it for the beam, okay, you can see, you can do for the beam, you can do it for the slab as well, okay, you can design all these formworks, okay, good. So let's move to the foundation part. So if I go to story 0, select any given column, I can insert a part footing, I can insert piles depending on what I want to achieve. Okay, if I insert a part footing, as it have been designed here, I can use these features to adjust if that's what I want to achieve. I can see different parameters here, the soil parameters that I'm using, and so on. You can go to the rebars where you can change. If I click on a 3D view, you can see the reinforcement that they have created. Okay. Do you want to use the top bars? If, for instance, I remove this kind of bars, see, it is being updated. Everything, if it's okay, you can generate a report. If that's what you want, you can generate reports. You see, again, you can save it PDF or Microsoft Word. If I click on OK, now the part footing will be created. So you can also create piles. You can create piles. Okay, again, under the pile cap, you can use all this information to adjust the piles. If everything is okay, the design is successful here. If the rebars are okay here, you can see, you can again click on OK, then the pile will be created. Okay, you can also design the mat foundation. For instance, for let's say for this area here, if I try to put, I'm trying to model a, let's suppose here, this will be the perimeter of the slab. Can put the slab, let's say it will be 300, for instance, 400, I don't know, any value, change to be closed. So if I create a slab here at the bottom, okay, so I can also design this mat foundation, okay. I will be using the strip again, and the strip, I will use the slab strip, finite element. Then you have to define the strip, okay? Click OK, the strip will be defined. You have to do the intervals. As long as I update, you see the boundaries are being updated and so on. So update. You can create even the one in the Y direction. Again, update. Update this boundary as well, and so on. Okay. So after creating this boundary strip, you can do the strip design, but it is asking me to do the reanalysis. So I will not go through the analyzing again, but there's will be the way of designing a math foundation. Okay, so that's it about the design. So if everything is okay, you have designed everything, then it will be time for the reporting and drawings. Okay, you will be using the ProtaDetail to produce details of the reinforced concrete. We'll be using ProtaSteel to define the connection of the steels as well as the detailing of the steels. Okay. Before we go there, there is two important reports that Protastructure provides. You know, after doing all this work as a structure engineers, there will be the next work of doing quantities while producing the BOQs. So imagine doing the quantification of all this building. It will be time consuming. But for Protastructure, we have very unique features that will let you know all the quantities of your project when it comes to concrete and formworks. So it is under here, if I go to quantity extraction, so I can extract all the concrete that I have. If I click on calculate, I will have a table showing all the quantities of the in cubic meter of the concrete. Okay, you can see on the foundation part. Okay, and you have different stories. Now you see here at the top we have the quantity total quantity. You can click on report to have all the details. Column 1, for instance, having this diameter, section, area, length, then it will give you the volume. Then it will do the summation. It will give you all the quantities for columns, for beam, any reinforced concrete member that you have. Then here at the bottom, we will have a table showing all the quantities. So again, we can save it as a PDF or Word. You can also extract the quantity for the formwork. Okay, very, very useful. Again, if I click on report to have a detailed report, you will have formwork quantity takeoff. Okay, for all your project, you can save it again. That's very, very useful, thanks to Protastructure. So let's go to the launch of ProtaDetail so that we can see how we can create tailings. Yes.
Maybe before I go to ProtaDetails, there is a question from Amsaru. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong.
Okay.
He said 3 questions. One, can we assign surcharge and pressures on retaining walls as triangular distribution? I think that is in ProtaDetails.
No, even here it is also available. For instance, if I go to this shear wall, suppose it is supporting a wall. If I go to edit load, okay, then we have wall area load here. So if you apply this wall area, okay, they will be applied to the surface of the shear wall. So it will be, you can see even here on the graph, it is a triangular rod. There is also another way. I will not click on OK because it will invalidate my analysis, but that's how we can achieve. Even in ProtaDetail, we'll see how you can do that, but that's the way. So when it is a soil applying laterally to the shear wall, It's a matter of going to edit load. Then you have this whole area load. Okay, any other question?
His question, second question was, how is structural system classification considered?
How is? Can you come again?
How is structural system classification considered?
I'm not getting the question very well. Maybe he will give more information.
Yeah, he can unmute and provide the clarification of what exactly did he need to ask.
Okay.
Amsar, are you there?
He is not around, maybe? Don't know.
No, he is. He is even unmuted. Can you speak loudly, please? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Maybe you can use typing in a chat box. You can type because we can't hear your voice. His third question was, how can we go through building system category?
Building system category, it is considered when you are dealing with earthquake analysis under the building analysis here. You see, if I go to the settings under the earthquake, if you click on earthquake, mine was deactivated. That's why we didn't see it. But if you open one of these, click OK, you'll have seismic parameters. Okay, depending on the code that you have selected, you will have different categories of building. Let me double check the one I have selected first. Euro code. Okay, so under the settings here, when you are setting the settings, you can see the activity level. You have a medium, low, and whatever. You have all these features. If you click on this, okay, the behavior, you'll see we'll have different categories of the buildings. If I click on this, you see the multi-story, other carpet, beam systems, and whatever steel frame, depending on the type of the building. Then you assign them here under the properties. Then if you click on OK, they will be applied. Then later on, you will go to the analysis, then run the analysis. Okay, so I will not click on OK because it will deactivate my analysis. So I'm going to go back the way it was, but that's where you can set all those kind of categories to the buildings.
Okay, I hope he's answered. This question is the same as the Mama. And I think both of them are answered. The chat box is still open. Tadeste asked how Protastructure export to ArchiCAD software. It's just to save a file which is opened by ArchiCAD. We'll go on that later. We can proceed to ProtaDetail.
Okay, so the one who is writing on the screen, can you delete the one that you have drawn? So proceeding to the ProtaDetails, it is under drawing and reports, under ProtaDetails. Then for my case, I have launched the ProtaDetails. I have opened the background. That's how it opens. Okay. So there are two ways of generating drawings. You can start by creating a new drawing. It means to create an empty drawing. Then you as a designer try which element you want to detail. Okay, so that's one. So there is another auto-generate detail. That's the one I'm going to use. It means now the software will automatically generate all the details for you. There's a couple of settings that you have to undergo here first. So I will not go through all of this. Okay, just I will click on draw. If I click here, then you will have to wait. So the software is generating all the drawings for your project. means the columns will be generating all the beams and so on. Okay, so you see in the background here, some of the drawings have been started to be drawn. Okay. So it will take time depending on the size of the project, also the capacity of your computer as well. So it is generating beams. Let's wait a bit, still loading. Okay. So here in ProtaDetails, it is a CAD platform, if I can say. You will be able to automatically generate all the drawings from the Protastructure, from the project that you have designed. But we have also other design tools which you can use here in ProtaDetails. In ProtaDetails, you can model, for instance, shear walls. You can model swimming pools. You can model different type of members. We will see it in a few minutes. So let's wait. So it is done, I think. So let's see. Yeah, I'm opening the detailing. It is still loading, so it is taking a bit of time because of this kind of space trusses that we have created, I think. So, okay, so it is done. It is done. So let's go on. We have, you can see, I have a bunch of drawings here. Okay, see, there are many drawings. That's why they took a little bit of time. If I try to zoom here, this is a foundation level. We have only the foundation for remember the pile cap that we created. We have, so let me try first to delete all these drawings. Okay, so I will stop to share it for a bit. Okay, so let me see if I can delete. No. Okay, so good. So I was deleting those elements. So let's proceed. Okay. So I was explaining this is supposed to be a foundation level. So we have only the pile cap that we created and the pad footing. Okay. So you see they have even dimensions. We have the first story. Remember we had a solid slab with reinforcement. You can see we have reinforcement in both directions. Okay. We have another one where we had a flat slab. We have also reinforcements. Okay, along the strip. We have the one for the ribbed slab and composite slab. Okay, then we have the column application, where it is showing all the columns with reinforcement on the grids. We have a column application quantity takeoff. This is a very, very great features of ProtaDetails. As long as it have created all the drawings here, it creates also a quantity takeoff in a tabular form, okay, with the reinforcement size, the quantity, the length, and even the schedule. Okay, so it will be very useful when it comes to quantity takeoff. Okay, even on the site for the steel bender, right? He will have an overview of how it is. We have those shear walls with all the reinforcement you can see. Okay, remember we created an opening. Good. We have the column elevations. See all the details for the column elevations. These are those columns that were slanted. Remember the one slanted, the circular ones. We have beams here. all the way down with the sections, reinforcements, and so on. We have the formwork. You remember we designed the formwork for some columns. Okay, you have the formwork as well as the table for quantity. See, all these in red are the formworks for all the members that we have created. There are a lot. Then that's it. You see how the software have created all the drawings here, okay, with a single click, okay? So this is a very easiest way. A good thing here, for instance, these are not just like lines like they are used to do in other detailing software. These drawings are interactive. For instance, if I select like, let's say this column, okay, I can right click and create quantities, okay? Create quantities, okay, only for this column that I have selected. Now you see I have quantity table for only the column that I have selected, okay? So it means all these are not just lines in color form with different colors, they are interactive. So you can see if I select on this line, it is not a line, it is a rebar, it is a reinforcement. I have a property table. I can just modify, okay? I can modify any properties here. For instance, this, you remember, you see it is diameter 16, okay? Under the quantity table, we had also 16 diameter. So under the property, I'm going to change from 16 to 20, okay? I'm putting a diameter of 20. So if I put 20 here, okay, just it is going slow because you have a lot of drawings. But what I want to mention, as long as you change this number here, the 20, it will be applicable in a quantity table as well as on the other drawings. But it is somehow taking long because we have a lot of drawing, but it is done. You can see it have been changed to 20. If I go to the one I have selected, it is also updated to 20. So these are not just lines, they are interactive, okay? So you can, let's see, you can put all of this on a sheet, because if you are inserting under the properties, you see we have insert to sheet. So you can put it on the sheet where you have even a title block and so on. So for instance, if I open one of the sheet here, click, you see this is a sheet with even the title block here. So you can put all these on a sheet if that's what you wish. It is also feasible. Then talking about other design library, you can design the cantilever retaining wall, you can design a stairwell, can design a retrofitting, can design a swimming pool, and so on. So, so that's it when it comes to ProtaDetail, because I see the time is running. So we conclude here. But before I conclude, let me try to open a new a given project, any project that have done in ProtaDetail, so that you can see maybe the end result if you have done the adjustment and whatever. So this is a sample of one of the projects that I'm taking randomly. So you can see we have a sheet, yeah. It is customized because it is not similar to the one we had. You remember the one we had, which is default. If I place it here, if I take one of the sheet, let me take a small one. Start. You see this sheet, this is the default one, okay? But this is the sheet that have been customized. So you can customize your sheet as you wish. So you can see all the details of the buildings. Okay, you can see the reinforcement in columns here, in beams, the details of the staircase, and so on. So this will be like the end result after doing all the work. So that's it about the Protastructure. I think I can end here because the time is running. So maybe I will answer the remaining question if Alexander help. I will answer the remaining question, then we will conclude the demonstration.
Yes. Thank you very much for handling that. People are asking more about transferring the file to AutoCAD and to PDF.
Okay. So, for instance, first of all, when it comes to PDF, first of all, if it is about the detailing for this one, it's a matter of coming under the files, going to export as PDF, okay? You can also export as DWG. So if you export as DWG, you can open it in AutoCAD for those who are asking for AutoCAD. If you go to export to PDF, then you will export to PDF. Let me see. For instance, these have been exported. You can see these are the PDF documents. This is a PDF document of those drawings that we were seeing. Okay, this is a PDF that have been exported. It is the same as this one. Okay, so that's about the PDF of exporting drawings. But here you can also create report when you are dealing with reports, distance. Because when we were in Protastructure, the details we saw was somehow individuals. We had the column details, we have, report, we have a BIM, we had a BIM report and so on. So here you can combine all those reports to make one PDF. So it is done under this report manager, where you see all these are the reports, different reports that we have. You can combine them as one, okay? Then if you click on view, you remember you can save them as PDF or as a Word document, okay? So that's about the exporting to PDF. When it comes to the physical model like this, you can export them to ArchiCAD or to any other software, ArchiCAD, Revit, and so on. For instance, let me see if I have a Revit. This is a Revit software that I have now. It's not Protastructure. If I open a new file, an empty file, okay. If I open an empty file, you can you see that we have a ProtaBIM button here at the top. So if I open this, you can import from Protastructure or export to Protastructure. Remember, this is a Revit software, not a Protastructure. So you can see ProtaBIM. Yet I'm in Revit. So if I click on these three dots, then I will be able to search where my project is. Then I will open it. This is one of way. Another way, you can just use the IFC. Okay. So for instance, if I go back to Protastructure here, under the BIM tab, you can export as IFC. So if you export as IFC, you'll be able to open this project. Okay. So after exporting, for instance, if I go to export, I'm exporting this. You see where it has been exported. Okay. Then you can open your other software, maybe Revit or other software. It's a matter of knowing where the file is located, this one. If I click on open, it will load. Okay. It will load, then they will be uploaded. Okay. So let me re-export this again. Export full IFC. In the meantime, I can even open this. Okay, so go back to Revit. Then link IFC. Okay. So this is ArchiCAD. I'm trying also to open ArchiCAD to see to see if it will work. New project. This is ArchiCAD file, so I'm trying to open the software to see, to demonstrate it. So don't be bored, it is taking a lot time. So click on new, go to open. Let's try to search for the exported TZM DXF. So let me be sure the file that we're exporting in. So let me change the folder to be sure that, let me put it on, let's say, desktop, for instance. Demo, save, export. So demo IFC. Then I will go to ArchiCAD. Then file, open. Then I will try to search desktop, find where the file is. So I will change the format to IFC. Then I will see the file, then open. Okay, so it will take time to load. So when it comes to ArchiCAD, so you can export from. There are some errors here. I don't know why. So let's wait a bit. When it comes to ArchiCAD, it's a matter of using the IFC file only. They are telling me there are some errors. I don't know why. But when it comes to Revit, because for Revit you can see we have this ProtaBIM, okay, where we have the import from Protastructure, okay, and where you have the export to Protastructure. Because you see, I'm in Revit, but if I use one of these this command, you see this box, this dialog box, which is appearing here, is the one we are using in Protastructure. Because when we are opening a new project in Protastructure, new project, this box that we have, where we have project code and whatever, is almost similar to the one we have here, where you have to create a project. Okay, so you see they are automatically connected because it is Revit, but for ArchiCAD, it is somehow different. You can see here I'm on Revit. You have a Revit family and Protastructure family. Okay, so you have to map Revit family and Protastructure family. Okay, but it is not. It is taking too time. So maybe there are some errors. I don't know why. Can we start by answering other question, Alexander, while I'm trying to figure out the problem of this ArchiCAD file?
Okay, the Taodros asked, is the toolbar the same with other softwares? If not, what makes this different from others?
You mean the toolbars of what? Of Protastructure or of ProtaDetails? Can he clarify?
You unmute and clarify? I think he's talking about
clarify the toolbars.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Charite Gorki and from Ethiopia. I want to ask the toolbar of Protastructure and other softwares like Revit and AutoCAD and some others. What makes different with this one? Is that the same or not?
So the toolbars you are mentioning, is it related to these tabs here?
Yep.
You mean the tabs here and the toolbars here within those from Revit?
Yes.
That's what you mean?
Yes, of course. And modifier toolbar and what we use from AutoCAD and Revit and so on.
So I can say that the procedure are almost the same because softwares have similarities. Okay, but because tools are different, even this command may be different from the ArchiCAD or Revit and whatever. But for Protastructure, please take a note here. Take a look here where I have put my cursor here below. Whenever you take a command, you have an information here below. For instance, if I take a column, as long as I select the column, they tell me the information about the next action that I have to perform. Okay, so this will guide you to always know the next step. So if I take any other command, okay, if I take Truss, then they give me information about the next step to do. Another thing on Protastructure, which is very helpful, whenever you put a cursor on a given tools and given command, you have this yellow box, which is giving you like a hint how to use that tools. Okay. And again, if you go all the way down here on watch, we have some tutorials embedded in the software. Okay. So if I click, for instance, on insert column, you see the video which is being played. It is a tutorial which is embedded in the software, showing you how you can use that command. So in a case you no longer remember how to use a command, this will be helpful. Okay. So I can say that the toolbars are different because the tools are also different, but we have always a hint to guide you in Protastructure about the use of the tool, about the next step you have to perform, even those kind of tutorials. And you remember when we were on the start page, I mentioned that here we have some link. These are resources. For instance, if you click on one of them, let's say get started, it will open a browser and then it will load, see, and then it will direct you to the Protasoftware website where you will have some references of the project and the software as a whole. Okay, so that's how I can answer your question.
Additionally, what I can add is that every software is unique in its way. You just have to see what benefits you. Protastructure, if coming straight to toolbar, tools, you might find a column here, and in another software you will find a column, but there are like additional benefits for the tools in each software separately. For example, you was asking about the AutoCAD. AutoCAD is just a detailing tool. It's exactly like a ProtaDetails, even though ProtaDetails is specifically designed for steel structure, for structural detailing, and it is automated compared to AutoCAD using another software, because AutoCAD has no structural software inbuilt, which is different here because ProtaDetail is directly connected to Protastructure. So you don't need to go detailing rebars, detailing sections and cross-section and horizontal longitudinal sections, because ProtaDetail is detected from Protastructure automatically. So the toolbars are different for each software, but you might find they perform the same tasks even though they are different. But again, each software has advanced features or different benefits depending on what you want to achieve. From here, you can see we have modeled G+3 building with a complex roof, which you think in any other software to perform that will take you number of hours due to the complications and the fact that you need to transfer from one software to another software without automation. Yes. I don't know if he's answered. If you are not satisfied, feel free to ask again. Going to the other question. Amsaru said he has checked the mic and is willing to open
Am I
unmute
audible?
and ask on
Hello.
live.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation. I think the presentation is too fast. Maybe other friends can help me. I can capture all the processes, you know. It's better if we can get the recorded video, or we can, if it is other opportunity to get the video, it's better. My concern here is, I know Protastructure is a better software since we are seeing here different structures are integrated in one system, but I am interested on analysis part. Clearly, Engineer Gorki clearly puts the design and everything he already shows us, but my interest is on the analysis part. As you know, on seismic analysis, we go through different steps, different checkups. We have to check our structure or our building system is regular in elevation or regular in plan, since that determines the value of the behavior factor, which has the biggest effect on the analysis, also on the design. So how can we go through it on Prota to consider these effects and these checks? In addition, we have to check also our frame system or our building system, especially the frame system is sway or non-sway. We have to check that. In our country, Ethiopia, I think Engineer Gorki starts the analysis and design using British standard. In our country, we use Eurocode. So I think there is no little bit difference. Maybe there is a little difference, but we have to go through our frame checks. Is the frame sway or is the frame non-sway? Since these categories have effect on analysis. In addition, the whole building or the whole structure must be checked against torsion. Is it torsion flexible or is it not torsional flexible? We have to check also. I think if engineer helps me, in addition, we have to check also the damage limitation. So how can go we through on Porta? I don't know. I didn't capture that thing, so I need that clarification. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for your questions. It is clear that you are very, very interested about how the software goes under all those checks. First of all, I will confirm that all the checks that you have mentioned, Protastructure can perform them. Either it is about the torsions, either it is about checking the sway and whatever. They are all checked under Protastructure. So you didn't see that because after I completed modeling, I skipped the analysis and design part. Okay, so we didn't go through all the settings of the analysis. For instance, before running the analysis, there are some settings that you have to go under when it comes to before running the analysis. For instance, when you activate the wind load and the earthquake code, let's use the Euro code, the one you said you are familiar with. Okay, so if you activate these, you see now here I have seismic parameters where I will use to specify the parameters of the seismic, and I have wind load where we go through defining the wind parameters. So under the seismic parameters I have mentioned, where you, depending on the project you are dealing with, you have to set all these informations. So all these information, depending on the type of the soil, depending on the structure parameters that you have, depending on the seismic parameters that you have, all will be needed in analyzing those parameters you are saying. Okay, so that's first. When you go to the modeling options here, you see where you have to specify the degree of freedom of your structure. Okay, where you were talking about does it perform the torsion? So you have to specify all of these settings before going to the analysis. Is your project torsion permitted? Is it permitted in X and Y only, and torsion prevented? All of this, you have to define them before going to the analysis. So after defining all this, you have also, when it comes to seismic, because Protastructure is very, very powerful when it comes to seismic design, you have also to define some stiffness of your sections. Okay, so you have to define all these parameters before going to the analysis. Okay, if the stiffness are defined, the degree of the freedom have been defined, all the seismic parameters have been defined. Okay, we have also other settings related to the slabs and whatever. That's when we move to the analysis part. Okay, and under the analysis part, the software will analyze all those mentioned parameters, to analyze the torsion, to analyze the loading distribution, to analyze the sway and whatever. So let me try to open the a report to see if it is available. Okay, and let me double check to see if it is the post analysis. I'm going to try. Okay, let me see. Okay, so you see on this report, on the post analysis report, it gives you all the reports related to those we were asking. Do we have to check the story drift? Okay, it will here give you all the information, the height of the story and whatever. It will perform some checks here, and then it will give you the here the like conclusion. So they don't have a drift here. So it will do all these calculations, the story masses, depending on your project that you have, the earthquake dynamic inertia forces, you see all are here. So as short, so Protastructure do all those checks that you have mentioned. The only reason that you didn't see all those, because we have skipped the analysis part. So we when we will be joining maybe one of our training, we will have all the full information related to the analysis part, and we will cover all those parameters. So that's how it is.
Okay, thank you.
You're okay, welcome.
Amsaru, are you answered?
Yes, I got the answers from engineers. I got the answers. Yes.
Yes, because this is a demonstration. Actually, our training takes over 3 weeks for a complete package to master Protastructure. So today is demonstration, just to show you how the software works and how it can beat other software tools in structural engineering industry. So we didn't go deep, but any question you have, The instructor is here to go back and show you what is exactly you're looking for. The other question is box culvert part has no concrete design and detailed features. It seems incomplete. Maybe he was asking, is it a complete package, the box culvert in a ProtaDetail?
So, okay, thank you for the question. When it comes to the culvert, Protastructure don't design culvert, okay? It only details culvert. So when you go to the ProtaDetail modules, we have a design library and detail library. Okay, so under design library, you will be able to see all the elements that ProtaDetail can design. But under detail library, it is where culvert is located. It only gives you detailings. So it means you have already designed. You want only to details instead of going to detailing software and start drawing manually. You can come here and infill all these parameters. Okay, then the software will give you the details. So these are the details, but not the design. That's how it is.
Excellent. Would you mind give me a chance of questions? Abadi, which question do you have? You didn't ask. Would you like to unmute and ask? Maybe.
I have something.
Yes, your voice loudly, please.
I have a question just like how can we transfer the list from the group to
Gorki, can you hear him?
No, I'm not hearing.
Your voice is too low, sir. No, you are too low. Can you remove headset maybe?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. How can we transfer
Very well.
towards the pads, and how can we select first the loads to design or to analyze? We should have to transfer first toward this pads. Okay, so how can we transfer the loads from roof toward the pads?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. You are asking how to transfer loads from the superstructure all the way down. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of that are under the design, the analysis part, because when we are analyzing, you can the load are being transferred from the top, all the way from the top, or going down. Okay. But you can also use this load decomposition by finite elements. So it means it will decompose all the loads all the way going down. And again, if you go to the building analysis, if you open the building analysis, after setting all the settings that I have mentioned so far, if you click on this building analysis, okay, so all the loads will be transferred from the top going down, because when we'll be reaching on the pad foundation, you have to design the pad after doing the analysis, okay? Because after doing the analysis, that's when the load have been transferred. So if I try to open like a plan view, I want to demonstrate like, let me remove this color legend so that it will be easier. Let me hide the slab, let me hide. I'm hiding some of these layers, so I want to have only column, for instance. So if you go to the review tab under the visual interrogation, you see the column display. So if you open the column display, you can activate one of the load type, let's say actual load. You can define a load combination. Maybe let's use one of these. If I click on OK, click OK. Now these are the total loads which are reaching on this column. Okay. So if I go to the upper part, you see I had 100 and something. If I go to the lower part, now I have 300 and something. So you see that the loads have been lowered down all the way from the up position all the way down. So these are achieved only after doing the analysis, okay, after doing the analysis. So another thing, if I try to open what you call the analytical model here, let me try to open it. It will give you an overview. So this is the analytical model of our building, okay? You can go under this analytical model, then let's try to activate the diagram so that you can see the diagrams. Then I will hide, maybe I will show some of the story, not all the story, like so that we can have this. Now I have analytical model, but I have activated only the story one so that you don't have many information, if I can say. Okay, so I can come here where we have different loads depending on what load combination you want to access. If I click on one of these, okay, if we click on one of these, then I have activated the diagram. First of all, let's start with the member. If I activate the frame, you see how the load have been distributed from the slab all the way to the beam. Okay, so they are here. You can even open the load, the label, so that you can see how they have been transferred in kilonewton per meter on the beam. Okay, so these are how the loads have been transferred to the beams. Good. Then from here, you can see that all the load have been transferred. Then it will be transferred from the beam all the way to the column. So under here, then you can see, you can play with this. You can see the shear, you can see the moment, you can see everything in diagram here, okay? From depending on the load combination that you have you have chosen here. Okay, so you can see the effect of all those. So this is just to show you how to confirm that all the loads have been distributed all the way from up to the foundation part. So it is done after doing the analysis. Yeah, that's, I don't know if you are answered.
I have one question, please.
Okay.
Can we export yes, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Can we export the Etabs files to the Prota files with the already assigned details in Etabs? Can be transferred to Prota, and can we check through Prota for the design? And also the second question I have, here in our country, we have an authority to check our designs. They usually checks using the error codes. The calculation will be attached with error codes. The details will be from the error codes. Can Prota deliver these documents for the statistical papers?
Good, thank you for your question. Yes, it is possible, because when we are starting a new project, when we are opening a new project,
Yes.
we have different codes. So I don't want to close this. So maybe I can show you by passing through here. It will be also visible. So here under the codes, we have different codes. Okay. I took the British standard as just as an example, but you can see we have a lot of other codes. Okay, we have the American codes here. We have the British standard. We have the European Euro codes too, the one you are using. okay, and other annex. When it comes to the steel design, we also have the Eurocode. See, you have Eurocode. When you have to loading, you have also Eurocode. So you can use Eurocode in Protastructure, TT. That's okay. And coming to the detailings and whatever, if you want to respect the code that you have chosen, yeah, it is also possible. For instance, under the detailing, let me take one example. Column detailing. Okay, so if I go to the column detailings, because under the settings, you have to first of all do some modification under the settings before producing drawings. So I'm going to the column, then to the detailing. So here I have different settings related to the detailing. So starting from the general tab here, you have to set the kicker length, the start binding length, factor, and whatever. So you can change these values manually. This will not affect the design. It will only affect the detailing. Okay, so you can adjust this manually depending on what you want to achieve. But you can see, for instance, if I give you an example for this data bar length, it is 0. Okay, and if you read this note here in blue, it is telling you that this will, if you put a 0 value here, it will be calculated according to the code that you have selected. Okay, so even without going and do some changes here manually, as long as under the code you have selected the Eurocode, it means even the detailings here will be according to the code that you have selected. Okay, so I can confirm that the software support the Eurocode when it comes to the design, modeling, and whatever. Okay, so that will be okay for your side. And another question was about, can you remind me the first question you asked about?
The other question was about Etabs.
Okay,
the
Etabs.
model project from Etabs to Pro.
Okay, so under the BIM, if you go to under the BIM tab, you know all these formats here, IFC and SAF, okay, those are can be opened from one software to another. Okay, so if you save your project in one of these files, it can be opened in any other software that can open that extension, that type of file. Okay. So for instance, if I save it as IFC, so IFC, if it is supported by Etabs, then it will open it. Okay.
So
then we have
sorry
also
to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Etabs is here on the right, and it's direct button.
Yeah, I was. Yes. We have Etabs here. Okay. So for this model, if you go to export to Etabs, then you can go directly to Etabs. Okay. As you can see that we have also Revit and so it is supported also.
What about from Etabs to Prota? What about
Sorry?
from Etabs to Prota? What about from Etabs to Prota? From Etabs to Prota. Is that possible?
Yes.
From Etabs to Prota, directly changing the extensions, or there is another method?
Yes, from Etabs to Prota, so you have to save, if you save it as IFC, then you can import in Prota using this IFC import. But when it is like Revit, there is a direct button for Revit side.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the other question. This Yiriga Theodros, the question he asked is about the bridges. Prota doesn't do bridges. How can we have a video of this lesson? Firstly, this is not a lesson, this is a demonstration. The training is planned in February. I would like you all to join the training to be affordable to you, and it will be from 0 to intermediate level of Protastructure will take 5 days. So this is just a demonstration. We'll share a YouTube link tomorrow. How can we get soft copy of this lesson? Still is not a lesson, it's a demonstration, and we'll share you a link to the recording of this video. Share the video tutorial, yes. Does the Etabs, ArchiCAD and Revit are covered with Prota? I don't know what you mean by covered. What you must understand is that there is a interoperability between Etabs, ArchiCAD, Revit, and the Protastructure, but it's exchanging files. So when you are working in one project, you can open your project in another software. That is for Etabs and the ArchiCAD. But for Revit, it's a direct button. You click and the model is in another software. And the changes you make on one model, it reflects in another model. Is that true, Engineer Gorki?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, so are they supportive or different? Safe is not, but other software you listed, yes. Can we get the training face-to-face on the software with discount? Yes, that is what we are planning, but what is already planned is the virtual training. So we are in a WhatsApp group all together. We will keep discussions open. You will suggest us what is better to do. If it would be for physical in Addis Ababa, or if you can join this virtual training, which will be, but our virtual training is well prepared. They are live and we are used to this. We can share with you the recording to see you will get the skills like it's physical training. Can you get the video? The video will be shared on maybe tomorrow because it will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. Those are all the questions we had. I think we didn't skip anybody because we have very keen engineers here with a lot of smart questions. One question comes up: sky bridge is common in high-rise bridge. High-rise building design to connect adjacent buildings. I think that is just a normal slab. Gorki, can you clarify? He's talking about that type of bridge which connects two buildings that are close to each other.
Can you come again? I was not understanding.
He's talking about the sky bridge, which is normally in high-rise buildings to connect two buildings close to each other, adjacent buildings.
Yes. Yeah, I see. Yeah, it is feasible in Protastructure. Maybe in a WhatsApp group we will share even the brochure of Protastructure. It is there.
Yeah. That would be better because some have a lot of questions like, does it do complex structure? Which makes me wonder if there is a software that cannot do complex structure. So we will share you a brochure of the software in a WhatsApp group so you can explore everything for you. Is there any lessons remaining? There is no lessons remaining. We are just finalizing the demo with your questions. The training scheduled is in February to be virtual. But if you would need physical training, we'll talk about it in a WhatsApp group because we have WhatsApp group specifically for Ethiopian engineers. Performance of existing building using Protastructure. Can we check the performance of existing building using this software? Gorki.
Yes, it is even one of the speciality of Protastructure. You can analyze an existing building. It is a lot, maybe if I go under the loading here. This a load pattern automatically. These settings here are the use of those kind of building. Okay, so you can analyze an existing building. Maybe there is a building you want to do some modification, or you want to change the use of the building, so it can be performed here. So you will have the result of the existing building, and you can compare them with the result of the proposed one. So it is feasible in Prota.
Okay, that one is answered. So we are 3 minutes late to the demo. I think we can close it here, and thank everyone who have joined us in this meeting. Again, we are in Nziza Global. We are available on any social media platform, and we are in a WhatsApp group. All other questions will progress in the WhatsApp group, because the instructor is there and the other experts are in the group. We will be there to answer all your questions. Again, let's keep in touch and experience the power of modern structural engineering together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.